Hello from Tokyo. Today we're going to do those mini balloon smashes again with the water balloon for the small florals, and I'll be using a dotting tool to create extra petals or to define them, so you can use a toothpick instead. And this is the base. It's very thin, as you can see. It's Amsterdam titanium white mixed with glue and water. And the colors we're going to use today, again, all Amsterdam paints today, Amsterdam brand. We will be using Pyrrole Red, Azo Orange, Azo Yellow Light, Brilliant Green, Brilliant Blue, Phthalo Blue, and Permanent Blue Violet. That's quite dark, but because of the white, it should make it lighter. It'll mix in. So we'll be using these. These are all mixed with glue, water, and a tiny bit of Florals. I'm going to add a little bit of the light gold as well, so you can see it's a really thin consistency. So again, I have mixed all of these with a very thin consistency glue and water. In terms of the base paint, you can see how thin it is. It's eyeballed today just because I'm used to it now. And the colors have a tiny bit of US Floetrol in them to make them a little bit thicker, but to be honest with you, it's really thin today. It's thinner than usual. You'll see the paint actually colors go into the white and kind of sink. Anyway, we're going to do a garland again, I think. I was thinking of doing a wavy thing, but I think I'll go straight across. And we'll start by first putting the base coat down. And I'll also be using, this is the torch that I use, I never show it, so for popping any air bubbles once you do the base, it can sometimes have some air bubbles. And again, we'll be using the balloon, water balloon, and wiping off between each balloon smash. So let's lay down the base. Okay, so now we're going to start laying down the colors, and I'm going to start here with Pyrrole Red on this side and just putting them down as dots. And these paints are really thinned down with the very thin consistency pouring medium that I make. So can you see how the purple or the Permanent Blue Violet is really sinking in? And here I'm now using the green in the middle so I can kind of gauge where the center is. And I'll carry on putting the dots of colors, and I'm going to make them overlap a bit. See, they're really sinking in. So if in your own country, you will probably have a different glue to what I can find in Japan. The reason why I'm using such thin glue is because that's what I can find here, you know. You get a really softer floral. If you want something more defined structurally, use a thicker glue. Also, it's easier to use a thicker consistency to make these florals when it's tackier and stickier. I tell you what brand I'm using for the paints, but I cannot with the glue because you won't get it over there. I just use a really cheap, really thin glue from the 100 yen shop. So you have to kind of just experiment with what you've got, what's available. I think it took me around 6 months to find something that I reasonably liked. And I still played around with other glues and consistency for different techniques. Anyhow, I'm putting some gold on top, and we're going to blow it out now. I'm going to blow it out kind of to the side first. Kind of to the side. I don't know if that, yeah, can you see? I'm kind of blowing it to the side. And then I'll go and blow it out again, but from directly from above, like head on kind of thing. Because can you see there's paint still underneath the white? And as you blow directly on top, that pushes it out and or brings it up, and it also blends the colors together with each other as well as with the white. That makes it a softer feel. So again, if you have a thicker consistency pouring medium with the paint, or even if the paint itself is thicker, depending on the brand, it will be different. The effect will be different. Yeah, so this is the fun thing about experimenting and creating your own, even if you watch people on YouTube that make art, what they do will be very different to what you do, depending especially on what medium that they use and what's available in your country. Yeah, so when I get comments like as if it's my responsibility on how your painting should work out, no. I had one of those today, and that's why I sound a bit low energy. I don't get paid for this, remember? So, yeah. Anyhow, it's looking very nice. We are actually balloon smashing now, and can you see that the paint is going back in on itself? So it looks very beautiful there, and then after it settles for a while, it can start to change shape. So again, I keep saying this, but if that's something that's a little bit difficult or tricky, or you need a lot of patience with it, so then I would recommend using the thicker consistency, because that will be stabilized. The shape will remain more likely as exactly how you stamped it or balloon smashed it. If it's your first time trying this technique, don't worry. Sometimes it looks different once it's dry. It all kind of settles down, especially if you are using the thicker paints, because it will look a bit lumpy. Actually, it looks quite cool that way. I've been meaning to try it with molding paste to keep it looking lumpy. And now I'm going to go and use a dotting tool. I'm going to use this dotting tool, I've decided. You can use a toothpick or something else that's got a sharp end like this, and I'd recommend something quite thin if you're wanting to make the thin lines. So I'm going to keep on repeating doing this. This was about just over an hour, so I've edited the video much shorter. Anyhow, right, I'm going to leave you to it, and I will talk to you at the end when we have a look, first of all, at the wet version of the finished painting. So I hope you enjoy the painting today, and speak to you in a little bit. Okay, let's bring the camera down for the close-up of the wet version of the finished painting. I feel like there's something missing in the purple section, so I might add some more there. It's very, very soft, as you can see. It will dry probably a little bit more defined, and we're used to seeing the blue and the purple from the hydrangea series. It's the consistency of the white paint that creates that kind of cloud effect, by the way. Here is dried now. Can you see it is a little bit more defined? The golds come through a lot more in some of the sections. Yeah, especially with the yellow, which I'm grateful for. Otherwise, it's a little bit too light. Very pretty. It worked out better than I thought once it was dried. Now, when you go really close in, you can see the small petals, the lines that were created. I was going to add a bit more to the middles of each of the flowers. I did for some of them off camera when it got a bit more tacky. To be honest, I left it a little bit too long, so it was too tacky. And those are the additional flowers in the purple bit that I added there. I think because I added the purple to that section, it has to kind of stay in this orientation. Thinking this would be really nice to do in a circle, like a wreath, really pretty on a square canvas. Here, I'll bring it up to the light, the natural light. Can you see it better? I could have maybe added a few more colors and maybe intensified it a little bit more, especially the yellow section, maybe another yellow or another darker red. Anyway, what did you think of using rainbow colors for these florals? Thank you so much for watching as always, and see you in the next one. Bye!